good day to you. Pray all is well, PREY. Wishing you success. So, this is going to be the Constitution comprehension. Right now, I'm going to just start breaking it down in the layman's terms. I'm going to be doing this, not into layman's terms, into our terms. I'm going to be doing this every day. I'll be going live, so that will give us the opportunity to dialogue with each other. But I'm also going to post it on YouTube because, of course, YouTube will really be able to handle the length of the video live. So I'm just going to get the ball rolling. So what I want you to do, if you're going to be a part of this and paying attention and, we get engaging, you have to get a copy. Okay? Now, I don't doubt that you can find it online. You know what I'm saying? The Constitution. I'm sure you could find it online in PDF form. Okay, but it was nothing like just really going to, and I got mine from Barnes & Nobles, and I actually got one for my entire family. Okay? This is a fresh joint, you know what I mean? But it's actually like a lot more feasible to go get it from Barnes & Nobles and literally have the document in your hand that they printed up for it to be. I mean, first I want you to just look at it. You know this is the supreme law of the land. This is what you've been educated on. You know this, okay? And look at it. It's almost like the size of a Galaxy Note. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to, you see what I'm saying? Now this one has the Declaration of Independence and as well as the Articles of the Confederation in it as well. Okay? It's 110 pages. Okay? Entire document itself. This is alive. You understand me? Like, this is what they swear themselves to. They take an oath to this. They solemnly swear themselves to the Constitution. Okay? You understand that? Now, it's already in play for you. You gotta hear me on this. It's already in play for you. Henceforth, the Declaration of Independence. Okay? But this is what they swear by. Before the police officers go through training, they take an oath, and this is the oath. Okay? This is the oath right here. But because, one, we aren't knowledged in it, you hear me? Because that's an occupation. It's a job. You get paid to be a police officer, so it's an occupation. There's no more to it, and they are public servants. And we all know this. We know this. But through violence and lack of knowledge, we're at war with it. Okay, so I just press for us to be on the foundation. There's a lot of code, there's a lot of statute. I know as far as the Moorish Science Movement and I-Self-Am Law, and what they teach you about is how to deal with the codes, U.S. codes, okay? How to work it to your favor, and it works. It does really work. It does. I'm not even going to take away from that. But you still have to foundate yourself on the Constitution because it's the supreme law of the land. And there's no lie when I say that. I'm not lying to you when I say that. That's the consensus. If you're watching the political climate or the political circus that's going on, you hear Nancy Pelosi say the Constitution. You hear Donald Trump say the Constitution. You hear Mitch McConnell say the Constitution. Amongst these other senators, like, I've been watching C-SPAN, okay? And, I mean, it's really about what the fuck they're doing. What the fuck is going on? So, I'm pressing for us to get the copy. It starts here. It really does. You can chase God. That's a forever chasing thing. But knowing your rights and how to operate and how you're supposed to operate in this corporate structure. Because the United States is a federal corporation. Okay? But this is what they swear by. Before the police officers go through training, they take an oath, and this is the oath. Okay? So the more you're informed, the more your knowledge on how to posture and so forth, the better the outcome is going to be for all. You got to really think about this, because when we get into the system, they just talk about this. You know what I mean? They just tap on it. You know, the country was built on this foundation, and then it gets pushed away. You understand what I'm saying? They don't go into the depths. They just speak on the Bill of Rights, and then it gets pushed away. And they're supposed to tell you. You hear me? You're supposed to hear about it, but then it's on you to do the digging and so forth. And they block you with that because they throw everything else in your face. You understand what I'm saying? So no matter who you pray to, you hear me? No matter what your spirituality is, the law of the land, you have to be knowledge of. So now the trickery is our brothers and sisters who take those occupations, Barnes and Nobles, is where I got mine, Barnes and Nobles. The brothers and sisters who take that occupation of law enforcement, of lawyers, judges, Barnes and Nobles. Yeah, I went to Barnes and Nobles. A regular bookstore, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, they should have it. Okay, all right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Excuse me. Those who take the oath, they get paid. Hear me. They get paid to omit it. So when you start getting into the courts and you're hearing about violations of code, okay? Codes are not law. Because remember slave codes. Remember that. And I say that wholeheartedly. Remember slave codes. Remember that. It's the same thing. You understand me when I say that? Slave codes, they don't exist. Or, well, they may still exist. People just don't do them on the deck. But they're not law. You feel what I'm saying? They're not law. This is law right here. And it's in our favor. It really is. Think about Martin Luther King when he marched. He actually got the amendment added to this. Who else has done that since then? If we're out here living righteously and living with integrity and shooting for respect, all these levels that are supposed to be, right, quote unquote, who else has done that? Think about the Black Panther Party and what they stood on. They stood on the law. They weren't being ridiculous. You have the right to bear arms. And they were showing that if need be, we will protect our people by any means necessary. Through the proper righteousness. Think of Malcolm. And think of Malcolm when he came back from Mecca. I mean, no, Malcolm in his entirety. I won't even diminish him like that. Malcolm in his entirety. He never preached to go out here and kill everybody. He preached to protect and defend yourself. Know the law. Be righteous. Stand up. Be firm. So I'm speaking wholeheartedly about this. And I'm showing you. Look at it. It's 110 pages. And the actual Constitution itself, okay, which is about 7 articles. I just want you to visually see the part itself. This is the Constitution, right here. These are the articles of the Constitution. These are the articles of it. Look at that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the novels that you get from self-help people are thicker than the law. The supreme law of the land. That's the articles. So now, for me, the bread and butter is the amendments. Because the amendments are straightforward. I'm going to show you those too, just so you can see the visual. You understand? So you can see how simple it really is. Because I used to think it was more than what it is. You feel me? I was caught in that as well. Well, it's the supreme law, and of course they're operating properly. Of course, because, you know, I'm in America, and but it don't make sense to be arrested for driving. These are the amendments. Look at that. Again, the self-help books that are out there are thicker than this. The supreme law of the land. Period. So, we are fools to not keep ourselves knowledge in it. We are. We're fools to not be knowledge in it. To not have comprehension. To not have the understanding. We're being fooled, and we are fools to continue it to happen. So that's why I press so hard, and I'll be like, get your copy. Get your copy. And then really, we gotta flood the courts with this. This is Title 42, 1983, Deprivation of Rights Under the Color of Law. It's 6 pages. Alright, I don't want to blind you, but I want you to see the code. You see that code? 42 USC 1983. So now hear me. They got these things set up. Paperwork's out there. Paperwork is out there. That's what we're trapped in. Paperwork. Paper. 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 Hear me. Paper. And what does paper come from? Our planet. And what do we do with the paper in its original form? We need it for what? Oxygen. Supreme law, right here. Okay, so I just want to first engage you about it and encourage you to get you a copy. Like I said, I'm going to be continuing on to just talk about it. Because that's how you get to learn, right? Just speaking on it. I'm not saying that I'm the most knowledgeable in it, of course. I believe that you learn every day. So these are processes that I'm going through now where I'm finding out how corporate our land is. The city of Newport News. It clearly states Corporation of Newport News, Virginia. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it states Corporation of Newport News, Virginia. So my question is, how can a corporation be a government? Excuse me. And if a corporation is a government, then who's governing the corporation? So I encourage you to look up the U.S. codes. Get into the U.S. codes. Have your Constitution with you, and get into the U.S. codes. Because the definition of the United States in accordance to the U.S. codes is federal corporation. And this information is out there. I'm not even saying anything new. They've been that for hundreds of years now. How about this? If you live in New York, you know they have those kiosks, those NYC kiosks out there on the streets in New York. Completely agree with you. I encourage you to watch C-SPAN and get this document. At those kiosks in NYC, New York, and the NYC New York kiosks that have the free Wi-Fi out there, I think those are going to be antenna type situations too. But, you know, they often show different tidbits of the city. You know, the different boroughs, Brooklyn and, you know, Queens and everything. When this started here, when that, who did this and that. And it stated up there that in 1834, Brooklyn became a corporation. In 1834. So I go right back to you again. If it's a corporation, how can it be a government? And see, the thing is, you are the supreme being. You are. You're the supreme being. But they're working to make you turn yourself into a monster. That's what a corporation is. It's a Frankenstein. I say it like that. Yeah, you can do business ads and so forth. But it's a Frankenstein. And then the idea is, take over your Frankenstein. You hear me? Buy you out. Now it's the brand, right? So you look at McDonald's. Perfect example. You know, the McDonald's situation that happened where Ray Kroc just bought the name and continued on going with the process. But McDonald's food is trash. Why? Why would their food be trash now? Why would their food be filled with so many chemicals and poisons? It's supposed to be convenient and fast for everybody, great for the family. Every single corporation that is of some sort of conglomerate out here, you understand me? Monster out here is owned by the government. And the government is a group of people, a group of beings together. That's what it is. So I say there's some evildoers out here, some evil beings out here, who are purposely blocking us, manufacturing fuckery to keep us divided, uninformed, and at war with each other. Because I think about between the 30s and the 60s, the 30s and the 70s, okay? And within the 30s, they made that change. They had everybody bring their gold to the Federal Reserve, which is a private business. The Federal Reserve is a private business. The Federal Reserve is a business. The Federal Reserve is a business. You hear what I'm saying? Yet they can mandate the economy of the country. DMV is a private business. The Department of Motor Vehicles is a private entity. I called the Eastern District Attorney for Virginia, and was just asking her questions about, motions and law. And then she begins to tell me, well, my husband and I were in this situation, and he had acquired these tickets from so long ago where he thought he had, paid these things off, and they suspended his license, and he had to go through this and that and that. And I started doing research, and I found out that DMV is some private business that the government has contracts with. What the fuck? So then it made me question traffic. It made me question traffic court. Right? Because you can be arrested for driving. Not even to say like you have anything on you or anything crazy or something like that, but just for driving. You can be arrested for driving. You understand me? Or your vehicle brake light is out. Your tail lights are out. Then they tax you through that means. It's pirating. I say this to you wholeheartedly. It's within the document. The Fourth Amendment. Let me go to it to be sure. And again, I keep it with me to read, to stay abreast. Yes, the Fourth Amendment, okay? Where they like to call it search and seizure, okay? The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. That's the Fourth Amendment. Your right to privacy. And that's speaking to them. So now, I started thinking to myself, well, why would you get a license plate? If you're in private capacity, because there's a difference, whether you're in public or private capacity. Right? But if you're just me, I'm, me, and I purchase a car, right? The fuckery with that as well. Why do I have to have a license plate on my car? Because the license plate has my address information. And anybody can get that information. Anybody can. Police will pop your plates. Yeah, come on. We know, come on. I gotta put my hands up and say, as a black man, right? I've been in the roll of dice. I've been involved in the stop and frisk. They'll pop your plates. That's invasion of my privacy. But why would I have to have that out there like that? Like, why is that a requirement? But then if you go to some other states, you only have to have one plate. Or you don't have to have the inspection sticker. Or you can have a plate on the back but not on the front. Or you don't have to drive around with it. When the idea, and based through this document here, is what's good for the people is good across the board. Yeah. First Amendment, right? But I'll read it to you so you hear it. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now, yesterday was Religious Freedom Day, and Donald Trump signed prayer into the schools, which I agree completely. Regardless of whatever your religious tone is, you should definitely be able to pray, meditate, if there's a collective of people, so that energy, because it's energy. And it's beautiful energy. We're all together for one reason, to bring calmness or peace or be there for someone in their time of need and so forth. So, yeah, of course. Why not? And to cultivate that in the school with youth. Yeah, of course. We all should be able to have those moments. You know what I mean? So, but that'll help him to get into office. You hear what I'm saying? Like, he didn't grope women, talk crazy about shit, but he's playing the game, and he's playing the game properly. Because prayer is important to people. Religion is important. But they're not starting a class on the law. They're not sitting down saying, hey, you need to know this. You need to actually read this and be abreast of it. Because it does pertain to you. And it's actually in your favor. Again, the police take an oath to hold it. Excuse me. What do? They read you your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. That's actually the Sixth Amendment. That's the Sixth Amendment. Excuse me. Yeah, I gotta give it to you. And it's necessary. So you hear it. You hear what I'm saying? Let me give you a little bookmark chain. Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions. So the moment they throw crime on it, and that's the only way you see me? Everything's a crime when you go into court. There's no way about it. The accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusations, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Everything, all the hymns and his, I scratch out and say, us. You feel me? Man, woman, us. Alright? And also, the Miranda is also a combination of the Fifth Amendment. Check this out. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, and when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So due process is something that doesn't happen. Because that means you were found guilty. And now you're administered whatever jail time, whatever so forth. They detain you first. They arrest you first. And I go back to traffic. Like, what is traffic? We got criminal court. We got civil court. What is that? What is traffic? Traffic deals with commerce. So I encourage you, take your time to go through the U.S. codes. It is thick. It is massive. I'm going to put together a little thing of the information that I'm coming across. You understand what I'm saying? Gather from other accounts and so forth that are out here spreading this information. Because there are more of us out here that are speaking on the law and how you really need to be informed on it so you act properly. But in my opinion, we have to get at our brothers and sisters, and hear me how I say it, our brothers and sisters who get into these occupations and they're upholding policies and procedures, yet they're taking an oath to uphold the supreme law of the land. And they don't know what they're doing. So again, look at it. I mean, it's 110 pages. This I got from Barnes & Noble's, $7.98. And I actually got it on a buy one, get half off on the other one. So I bought one for myself, my children, my mother. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing I'm going to tell you to do is get an Oxford dictionary. Because the dictionary, Oxford's dictionary is the basis for a lot of the words and language. I'm glad you will. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to read that. I'm glad to think that, see that. Appreciate you even informing me on you taking that step for it. You're welcome. Yeah, okay, so I'm feeling like I'm coming to the end of what I need to say as far as this first introduction is concerned. Like I said, I'm just going to be going live with it. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's fire. Good. Good. That's fire. That's fire. And you already got pieces to the puzzle already. And I mean, really, I'm giving my opinion about this. Let me say that first, right? I'm giving how I'm viewing it, my view from what I've been involved in. And I'll tell that story in a later time. But once I grabbed the dictionary and then I just started reading this for what it was, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is really going on? Really? That you have this supreme law of the land on deck, and yet the Internal Revenue Code book is fucking like this. Indeed. And the more that you do and you can share with others will help us in total. So, much respect. Look at that. This is billing and coding. This is a billing and coding book. This is the supreme law of the land. You feel me? That's why I be pressing so hard to get a copy. Get yours. Get your copy. Get the hard copy. Get the hard copy. So you can flip through the pages. Because then even when it's printed on, the pages that it's printed on is crazy. Look at that. Silver in there. So yeah, doing your own research is definitely fire. You know what I mean? That's what led me on the road to where I'm at now. I will put this out there for you. urlaw.org. That's a good website to get information from. There's a couple YouTube channels that got me started, and one of them I want to put out there is Deception Stoppers. Okay, it's two of us, brothers. Okay, and they're brothers, and they're just logging and talking about the process that they went through when one of the brothers began to get in this divorce situation, and just the levels of everything that was being uncovered, and the procedures and steps that they were taking, and they were just simply standing on this. Excuse me. They were just simply standing on the supreme law. Now, it's procedures that they manufactured in their policies. So, paperwork, you feel me? Paperwork. And then what else do they have? They have lawyers. What are lawyers? If you're one of integrity, then you're actually going to help to correct the system. But if you're one who wants to get paid, a lawyer is a gatekeeper. Yes, I will. I'll DM you. Yeah, I'll give you the links. Yeah, I got you. No doubt. I got you. And also, in fact, send me your email, okay? And I'll send you my little list that I'm putting together and the links on the list and the particular joints that I saw that sparked me to dig deeper into their accounts and so forth, and sites and so forth. There's a gentleman by the name of Rolando Bass, Bass. He's on YouTube as well, and no problem, no problems. And he lives in Maryland. He's a barber. He's a barber, and he's just standing on the supreme law. That's it. He's just standing on it, and he's logging these moments where he's being engaged with these officers. And he's not being ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? Like the fear of our people, not standing on the law. And when we have to, though, we have to. You understand what I'm saying? We have to, and we have to support each other in that. You know what I'm saying? We have to. And then, though, the real flip is what I really understood from Malcolm, and the reason why I believe he was really assassinated, as well as Fred Hampton, as well as Martin Luther, was because they recognized that we are getting trampled. Everybody. If you're not sitting at the top, making the decisions for it to trickle down, you're getting shitted on as well. So henceforth, Malcolm made his speech where he said, I will stand with anybody that wants to change his miserable existence on this planet. They don't want that. They don't want that. Not at all. Why the fuck do I need you to be unified? Do you hear me talking to you? Why do I need you to be uni? I need your energy. I need you divided. I need you in a hamster wheel. I need you to be running continuously, constantly, all day, because your energy is what is important. I need your energy. I need your energy. Put your energy out there, get this paper, and then use your energy from the paper that you got to give back to me. And let's just keep this cycle going, because it's just paper. That's it. It's fucking paper. And they colorize it and change it every day, all the time. So why can't you print paper up? I mean, shit, the Federal Reserve burns millions of that shit. I don't know if you ever seen Mad Money with Queen Latifah and Diane Keaton and Katie Holmes, and they robbed the Federal Reserve. You know how fucking crazy that is to watch them roll these carts of millions of dollars and put them into a burner. Okay, so you hear what I'm saying? They douse us with the truth. They douse us with it. There are certain levels of it where they punch us in the face with it, but because it's through entertainment, you hear what I'm saying? Because it's hee-ho, you don't take it wholeheartedly. You don't take it and be like, what the fuck? What is this? What is this bullshit? The fuck? And that's because violence is there. So I encourage us to get knowledge. There are entities, there are human beings out here who are pressing and pushing for just the awakening of us, and to simply stand on this. To the whole thing, like we're the human race. We have different ethnicities out here. You know what I'm saying? But we're a race of humans. We're a species of humans. There's different ethnicities out here. We gotta eradicate, we gotta get our justice right, and so forth. But everybody's in this shit, because those planes that fly in the sky and they chemtrail, they're fucking with everybody. McDonald's fucked up food is being fed to everybody. You feel me? You go to the grocery store, the food that you're buying off the shelves, if you're not fucking reading the ingredients and being aware of what's actually being manufactured and put into your food, everybody's getting that shit. Everybody is. Give a fuck who you are, how high up you think you are, or because you're Caucasian, or because you're Asian, or what. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're eating that same fuckery. You're exposed to that same air, that same ground being polluted and so forth. It ain't do this shit every day. So I'm just trying to spark it here. I'm trying to spark it here because I believe that this is the realest truth out here. Like, again, no matter who you may pray to or bow to, your religious so forth, you gotta know the law of the land that you on. And the more of us being in the know and in recognition, then we can correct the fuckery that's constantly being pushed. So like I said, I'm gonna post it on YouTube. Maybe try to chop it up so I can keep it on Instagram as well. Whatever. But every day I'm going to be going live and just talking about the Constitution, the different amendments. The 14th Amendment. Yeah. I definitely want you to get on that. I definitely want you to hear that one. Okay? When I heard the 14th Amendment, it threw me for a loop. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. 14th Amendment in the supreme law of the land. 14th Amendment in the supreme law of the land. And within the Constitution itself, within the articles, I believe it's Article 7. Let me tap in on it. Let's see here. I believe it's Article 7. I may be incorrect. It might be Article 6. Okay, check this out. Article 6, right? And I'm getting to the paragraph of it. There's about 4 paragraphs in Article 6. No, 3 of them, excuse me. The second paragraph in Article 6. The Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States is a federal corporation, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. So now I just validated itself with Article 6, and that's the supreme law of the land. This is U.S. Code, Title 42, 1983, Deprivation of Rights under the Color of Law, which has part of the 14th Amendment in it, which states no state shall make or enforce any laws that shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. So, a last little piece here. Privileges, right? Now, you just heard me read the 14th Amendment, and it clearly states that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. They tell you driving is a privilege. You ever heard that? You're privileged to drive. What the fuck are you talking about? It's a privilege to drive. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's your right to travel how you see fit. It's not a privilege to drive. Drive is an action. You understand that? Driving is an action, is a verb. So where's the privilege at? In fact, driver is a person that operates a commercial motor vehicle. That's in the U.S. Code. So henceforth you have driver's license. Being licensed to drive, to be a commercial driver. Taxi driver, Uber driver, limousine driver, what is it? Bus driver, right? Omnis. Bus driver. Tractor trailer driver. So it's what I've come to comprehend is that they're just bold face line. Straight up, just I'm just gonna lie dead up to you.